All right,
Ruckus
Piyush, just a quick update over there. The House did sit in, but within minutes, it's now been adjourned again because we are made to understand there was some ruckus that took place inside the House. Let's play back those pictures if we can of what's happening in the Lok Sabha. So exactly at 5 is when the House did sit into session. You saw some ruckus there. We saw people on both sides of the aisle actually get up. We are made to understand that there were some sloganeering that was taking place, and immediately on the basis of that, the House was adjourned. It was barely a minute or so that the House actually functioned, and there it has gone back to it. So Piyush, it looks like there will be a delay. Generally in cases like these we've seen in the past, that, you know, the government actually sits down with the opposition. There are these back channel door conversations that take place, and they arrive at a common point that, okay, do not disrupt when the Prime Minister is speaking, we'll allot you so much time. Okay, speak after. Or okay, not 4 speakers but 2 speakers. They always come to a compromise. Is there a struggle with BJP and Congress at the moment? Are they not speaking to each other?
Well, Sunil, they are. In fact, the government has tried its best to have a consensus built. We have ourselves seen the meetings being chaired by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. He has been talking to the various leaders from government as well as from opposition. Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Priyaditya also held a meeting with Deputy Leader of the Congress Party, Gaurav Gogoi, at the chambers of Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. A few minutes back, there was a meeting between the opposition MPs and the government MPs in the office of Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, but it seems like opposition is not at all ready to let the issue of General Naravane go in vain. They want to continue to raise this. They want government to answer on the claims which Rahul Gandhi is making. Though BJP has made it very, very clear that if something is not published, if something is not in the public record, how can that be even discussed here on the floor of the House? In fact, BJP MP Nishikant Dubey had also come up with around 15 to 20 books. Those were published during the UPA era. There were many books, those were also banned during the UPA era, and now he wants, which means that BJP wants some discussion to take place on those books first, and then a discussion on Naravane's book can take place. So we are now
seeing... Okay, Piyush, let me just quickly give an update since you're standing outside. Lok Sabha has now been adjourned for the entire day. They will resume tomorrow morning at 11. So perhaps goes back to the point I was trying to raise. They have not managed to build consensus with the opposition, and the reason why they've decided to actually adjourn the parliament.
Well, that's right. The consensus has not been built, and that's why once again we are now seeing how House has got adjourned. It will resume tomorrow at 11 a.m. PM Narendra Modi was scheduled to speak at 5 p.m. Even before Prime Minister could speak, we saw massive ruckus, massive sloganeering taking place at the part of opposition, and that's why the House had to be adjourned. Prime Minister was to speak in the capacity of Leader of the House, and when Leader of the House speaks, a motion gets passed. And this was a very crucial motion. It was the motion of thanks to the President's speech on budget. If Prime Minister would have spoken, a lot of things would have come out as to how the government is preparing as far as its strategy on budget is concerned. What will be the government's agenda for Viksit Bharat budget and how it is going to move ahead. Prime Minister would have unveiled a lot of things which the government is looking forward to do, but that has not happened. In fact, it all started, Sonal, we need to remember, it all started with what Rahul Gandhi did. He was given an opportunity to speak on this, but he chose to come up with a book which was not published. Then he said that it is published in magazine. When he did that, the Lok Sabha Speaker made it very clear that the rule of Lok Sabha states clearly that anything which does not relate to the current topic of discussion, which means the discussion on motion of thanks to the President's address, you are not allowed to speak. Moreover, something which is not published, which is not in public domain, cannot also be discussed. And that was the ruling which was given by Lok Sabha Speaker. But Rahul Gandhi decided not to listen to what the Lok Sabha Speaker was saying. Multiple times it happened. For at least 2 days, we saw the Lok Sabha Speaker requesting Rahul Gandhi to speak on the President's speech, but he did not do that. Following which, we have multiple times seen how House has been getting adjourned. No discussion on President's speech has taken place. And finally, today when Prime
Help
Minister
us
was to speak at
understand,
around
help us
5 p.m.
understand. Today, when the Prime Minister was expected to speak, yes, the occasion was a vote of thanks, but Prime Minister would have also spoken and attacked the Congress party, right? He would have attacked expectedly Rahul Gandhi. There was supposed to be a clarification issued on the US deal as well. A lot of those pressing issues were going to come up in the Prime Minister's address. Isn't that correct?
That's right, but Prime Minister can speak only when the House is in order, and House is not in order because of the continuous ruckus and sloganing being done by the opposition MPs. Today, when at around 12 noon, Piyush Goyal, Union Commerce Minister, was making his statement on India-US deal, a lot of ruckus, a lot of sloganing happened, and even we could not hear what Piyush Goyal was saying, and that was not a proper speech. Though we have tried to understand what has so far, there and what is the government's message on this Indo-US deal. But the point here is that in amidst the continuous ruckus, it was not possible to speak, and that's why when House was not in order, the Lok Sabha Speaker has decided to adjourn the House until 11 a.m. tomorrow.
All right, just to update our viewers who are just tuning in, we were all actually looking forward to hear from the Prime Minister at 5 o'clock from the lower house over there, which is Lok Sabha, and the Prime Minister was going to address the nation. It was supposed to be, the occasion was supposed to be, the vote of thanks on the budget session, but there were a lot of, issues being discussed in Parliament over the past couple of days, and the expectation was that he's going to come and give a very fierce response. Now, somewhere in the middle of all of this, consensus has not been met between both the benches, between the government and the opposition, and that's the reason why House has now been adjourned. And adjourned for the day, it will convene tomorrow at 11 a.m.